I call the regular meeting of the Ascension Parish Council Thursday, February 18th to order, please. Our invocation tonight will be led by Mr. Richard Throckmorton, our Parish Code Enforcement Officer. Our pledge will be led by Ronnie Fairchild, our DPW Department Director.
Our Father in heaven, we are indeed thankful for the many blessings that have so graciously given to us in our lives. We're very thankful for this great country that we have. It has been built upon religious freedom, that we may be able to worship Thee as we please. Father, we're thankful for this country because it's a democracy. That we have the opportunity to vote. Many freedoms that other people do not have. We're thankful to live in such a blessed country. Father, we ask that I might bless our national leaders and our state leaders. Especially, Father, we ask a blessing upon the leaders here in Ascension Parish, Tommy Martinez and the councilmen here. Bless them with vision and wisdom that we can keep our parish going forward. We're thankful for this parish and for the great citizens that we have here. Bless them and watch over them. Father, we're thankful for those that serve in the armed forces, those that may be in harm's way. We ask they might be blessed and protected and watched over. We have much to be thankful for this great country that we live in. Father, we ask that we may have a great meeting here this night. And we do this in the name of Thy Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Richard.
Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Ken.
Thank you, Ronnie.
Thank you.
Roll call, Ms. Suzanne. All present with the exception of Councilman Thompson, who's at work. I don't have any chair additions. Public comment period. Anyone wish to speak on any item on the agenda, come forward. Sign in. You'll be allowed 3 minutes. We'll move into before we get to our presentations, I would like to say that the Galvez Lake Firefighter Awards was supposed to be tonight, but it's going to be next month. The firefighters could not all get together and come tonight. We'll honor them next month. Presentations, Mr. President. GFOA Excellence in Financial Reporting Award.
I'd like to ask Mr. Miller just to please come up.
Oh, that's why they gave me that. We don't have a staff.
Wish you had a big staff.
Called upon these people tonight because they've have received an award that's given to very few people and has been given to very few government in Louisiana. I think 8 at the most. Not sure about that. I mean, is that about right? But Parish CFO Gwen LeBlanc and the Finance Department have received certificates of achievement for excellence in financial reporting from the Government Finance Officers Association of the United States and Canada. These awards reflect their excellent work in compiling the parish's comprehensive annual financial report, and it is believed to be the first time that any governmental agency in Ascension Parish have been so honored. So congratulations to all of you and to your staff. Gwen, y'all have done an excellent job, and I'm going to turn the mic over to you at this time.
Thank you, President Martinez, and it's certainly an honor for us as our Finance Department to receive this award on behalf of Ascension Parish government. I'd like to first thank Parish President Martinez and the entire Parish Council for always supporting us in any endeavor and financial capacity that we have encompassed in doing. And then I'd also like to thank Falk and Winkler, represented tonight by Tommy Lejeune and Jacob Wagaspack, for giving us the encouragement to go ahead and to apply for this award and to support us throughout this endeavor. And of course, as always, I've always said, you know, I have a great staff. They're very conscientious of their job duties. They're all here tonight with the exception of a couple who are ill tonight. And they are held to a high standard of accountability, and they perform their jobs every day with integrity and honesty. And of course, this is all to ensure the citizens of our great parish, Ascension Parish, that their public funds are maintained to a high standard of accountability and always in compliance with generally accepted accounting procedures. With every project, there's always a team leader. And tonight, I'd like to give a special recognition to Assistant Treasurer Amanda Barad. Raise your hand. Raise your hand. Who did an excellent job in this endeavor. This was a joint effort by everybody in our finance department. Everybody played a part in compiling and accounting and purchasing for information that was geared into this financial report, and I thank you all. And I'd like for everyone to do a self-introduction and just pass the microphone around.
On the spot.
Cynthia LeBlanc, Purchasing Department.
Janice Brown, Purchasing Department.
Angela Kolar, Finance.
Tony Uso, Finance Department.
Jamie Villeneuve, Finance.
Lori Lemoyne, Finance.
Ann Falcon, Finance Department.
Amanda Barat, Finance Department. Dawn Caballero, Finance Department.
Linda Timmons, Finance Department.
Sherry Bellina, Finance Department. Joan Shivers, Purchasing Department.
Charlotte White, Purchasing Department.
Shelley Villar, Finance.
Carol Celestin, Finance Department.
Thank you, ladies. Y'all did a great job, and I'm very proud of all of you. And before we close, I'd like to call on Tommy Lejeune, who would just like to give a few comments.
Thank you, Ms. Gwen. What I thought I'd do is share with you just a few statistics relative to what this award means. You know, the GFOA is an organization that's dedicated to enhancing public finance, both in the United States and Canada. In that jurisdiction, there's currently about 87,000 governmental organizations with about right under 4,000 that have submitted applications for this award. Roughly about 3,500 to around 3,700 have been awarded through this program that you currently are one of those people. But to me, what's most impressive is that if you look at Louisiana, there are under 50 awards out of 87,000 governments in Canada and the United States, and you guys are one of 9 parishes that are currently participating. So it's not as if this is something that's just purely given away by an application that you submit. It is something that you earn, and there was a lot of effort and energy that went into getting the award. So I think it's something you should be really proud of. The other thing is that this is something that can help with your bond rating, and when you do go out and issue bonds, the information that's provided in that packet is utilized. So it's going to have a prospective benefit for you as you go forward.
Thank you, Tommy.
Thank all of you. We're proud of you, and keep up the good work. And it's good for the citizens to know that your money's safe. Because according to our charter, if anybody misappropriates funds, it's all going to be Gwen's fault, and she goes to jail. So anyway, so she's staying on top of it. Thank you all a lot. They will be receiving a plaque shortly.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, you're not quick.
I'm gonna keep you on your toes, Drew.
I'd like to ask Ms. Musso and Ms. Schexnayder to come up, please.
I missed.
Chris is very familiar to me. My kids went to St. Teresa, and she was there then. So I guess we're both getting to that point, huh, Chris?
Be careful.
Parish of Ascension, State of Louisiana proclamation to proclaim EAEI Catholic School Partnership Day in Ascension Parish. Whereas St. Teresa of Avila Catholic Church in Gonzales celebrated Catholic Schools Week earlier this month, and on March 21st will celebrate its 50th anniversary of educating the children of Ascension Parish. And whereas Catholic schools stress moral, social, and emotional values along with academic excellence to achieve the full development of their students. And whereas their students are instilled with the ideal that education is a never-ending process for those seeking to achieve their highest potential. And whereas St. Teresa Middle School and St. John Primary, through their partnership with 9 Catholic parishes, comprise the East Ascension, East Iberville Catholic School Partnership, benefiting students throughout our region. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed, I, Tommy Martin, as President of the Parish of Ascension, State of Louisiana, by the virtue and authority vested in me, do hereunto proclaim February 18, 2010, as EAEI Catholic Schools Partnership Day in Ascension, and urge our citizens to join with parents and educators in celebrating our Catholic school traditions and growth.
Just want to say thank you very much. St. Teresa School has been in our community 50 years, and it's very exciting to be a part of this. I've been a part of it for 30 years this coming May, and it is a really good community to be in and a really fine place to be. I thank President Martinez as well as the council members for recognizing us. We really appreciate it, and I appreciate the fact that Ms. Schexnayder is here with some of her students from St. John Primary, because we begin there from pre-K all the way through 2nd grade presently. They will eventually have the 3rd grade there as the primary, and we will continue education from 4th through 8th grade. Presently, we have 3rd through 8th grade. So thank you very much for this.
We want to congratulate you, and certainly want to congratulate St. Teresa on attaining 50 years of being here. And Kent was one of the first graders there. So, seriously. So.
Dean Schexnayder. Miles and Susie. Rihanna St. Susie. Madeline Schexnayder.
Thank y'all for coming tonight. And Miss Chris said y'all didn't have to go to school tomorrow.
Okay, we'll move to item number 6, Parish President's Report.
First thing I have is Criminal Court Fund. Mr. Babin had asked me to be put on the agenda. So, Ricky, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Martinez, Parish President. Gentlemen, pleasure to be here. I'll start off by saying this is no new money to the parish. I'm simply asking you to move some money from Fund A to Fund B. Part of the criminal court fund, the fees that we use to operate the court system, which also funds some of my office, you pay for. You provide a direct appropriation to that fund. There are certain expenses that we have been submitting to the criminal court fund for reimbursement that the judges feel are somewhat of a conflict of interest. These are litigation expenses that we're incurring for our case. The judges saying they don't feel comfortable in signing an order to pay an expert witness for the state's case due to the fact that it's an adversarial system and the judges have to be unbiased. So with the judge's knowledge and consent, I'm here to ask you to transfer out of the appropriation that you already make to the criminal court fund is to take $30,000 of those dollars and transfer them to an account where we can access them directly. The types of expenses that these are used to pay for are, first of all, a lot of cases we have either witnesses or victims from out of state. We tried a rape, aggravated kidnapping case where I think all the witnesses and the victim was from Florida. So we had to bring them here from Florida. That's transportation, housing, meals. Also, it includes things like blow-ups, demonstration things for the courtroom. Also includes expert fees, which can be experts from anything from criminalists to fingerprint or any other experts you can think of. All these expenses that we use in the courtroom. So we're asking you to transfer from the criminal court allocation of those funds to a separate fund to be used for payment of criminal court expenses. I've talked to Ms. Gwynn, who, by the way, excellent job, Ms. Gwynn, from all the years that I've worked with you. You are a tremendous source of value to the parish. Anyway, she said probably the easiest way to do it would be for us just to submit invoices with those on, and she would reimburse us for those invoices.
Motion,
so no new money.
Motion by Councilman Randy Cluart, second by Councilman Shake Snyder. In discussion? Any objection? Motion carries. Thank you, Ricky.
Next, I'd like to announce a couple of announcements. Rick Webb, our Parish OEP Director, has been appointed by Governor Jindal to the Louisiana Emergency Response Commission. Rick will serve on the commission as a representative of the Louisiana Emergency Preparedness Association. So I want to send out congratulations to Rick, and we're all proud of him. And the next thing, I'd like to ask Mr. Schexnayder, went on a Smart Growth Conference in Oregon. If you want to give us a couple comments about that, I'd certainly appreciate to hear about it.
Appreciate it, President Martinez. And before I get to that, not only was I on the first grade class at St. Teresa, I was on the first ninth grade class at St. Teresa. But that was a while ago. But we were proud of that. Actually, President Martinez is the one that encouraged me to do this as he attended last year. It was a New Partners for Smart Growth National Conference, and it was in Seattle this year. And it was a national conference, and I had applied for a grant through CPEX out of Baton Rouge, which is Center for Planning Excellence, and we won a grant to be able to attend. And at that conference, we met with all the people in Louisiana that's working on planning excellence, as well as people throughout the country. And it was interesting that we had an opportunity to see what works, what doesn't work, and how long does it take for things to work. And we're actually finding out that many of the things that we're doing is in the forefront, and so we're very proud of that, and we continue to go forward. President Martinez has been very supportive, which has been good, and he also, through encouraging different people, sent the planning director, Mr. Ricky Compton, and the zoning director, Lance Brock, also attended, and we really came away from that conference with something very good, and I want to encourage every year to have at least one representative from Ascension Parish. The people of the parish deserve to be at the forefront of this type of development, and one of the things they learn is that the decisions we make today, the people of the parish for the next 10 to 25 years will be seeing the results. So it's important for us to do some things now. Thank you.
Very good job, Kent. Anyone have any questions for Kent?
That's all I have,
Okay, sir.
Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Chairman.
Okay, Councilman Lambert.
Yeah, Mr. Parish President, I don't have enough on this, but I've heard that Ascension Parish ranked number 6 in being the healthiest parish. I don't know if you want to comment on that.
Yeah, that's something yesterday that we found out, and there's several reasons I think for that. It's basically the people supported a mental health tax years ago, and they supported a health unit tax years ago, and our general population is changing. We got a lot of young people moving into the parish, and that's good, and we have a good mix, and those young people who don't smoke, a lot of them, and I don't know, I can't say they don't drink, but I would say I know a lot of them don't smoke, and so that contributes a lot to it, and through our cessation programs in partnership with the state, those are things that help, and people are learning and being more health conscious today, and I think that's probably why we're tops in the Baton Rouge region. So that's good. And also, I want to remind everyone, tomorrow at 12 o'clock, we're going to dedicate the building at Lamar Dixon to Robbie Savoy Jr. Anyone of you that can attend, just come to the office at Lamar Dixon. We'd be proud to have you, and I'm sure the Savoy family would be proud to have you there also.
Okay, sir.
That's all I have.
Okay, yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Next, we have our consent agenda. I'll need a motion, please.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Chris Lower, second by Councilman Benny Johnson. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries. We'll move into the general business section, item 7A, resolution. Councilman Oliver Joseph, please.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is a resolution we'd like to send to DOTD on behalf of the Department of Motor Vehicle in Downsonville. There's rumors that they're looking to close some down, and so I'd like to send a resolution to request that we keep the Downsonville office open. I know a lot of people from this side of the river use it, and it's very busy all the time, so requesting the resolution.
I'll make that motion.
Got a motion by Councilman Randy Cluart, second by Councilman Kent Shakespeare. Any discussion?
Yes. Real quick, I just want to say that Downsonville office is very efficient, and it has been for years. I'm one of the people that go over there and use it, okay?
Mr. Chairman.
Councilman Shakespeare.
Yeah, I think, Tommy, in our discussions, I think Representative Aubert and Senator Amadei are working on this, and I think it's pretty much assured, but it would be a good for us to push a resolution of support.
Very good. Any more discussion? Any objection? Resolution passes. Item 7B, non-engineering selection committee recommendations, CAO, Mr. Cedric Grant.
Gentlemen, you have in your packet 4 selections that the non-engineering selection committee did yesterday. I'll go through them in your packet. They're not quite in the order that they are on the agenda. So if you look at the last sheet for janitorial services at Lamar Dixon, we received 2 proposals, and we recommend to you Jana King.
So moved.
A motion by Councilman Dempsey Lambert, second by Councilman Kent Shakespeare. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries.
Okay. Second to the last sheet is intergovernmental services. We had 4 proposals. You see the ranking. We recommend John McMillan and Associates.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Benny Johnson, second by Councilman Chris Lower. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries.
The next one is electronic timekeeping. This is the front sheet. We received 1 proposal from Kronos. We recommend them for your approval.
Motion by Councilman Randy Cluart, second by Councilman Benny Johnson. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries.
And the last is for industrial uniforms and flat supplies. We received 2 proposals, and we recommend to you Gene K.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Chris Lower, second by Councilman Dennis Cullen. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Grant. Next, we have introduction of an ordinance to fund the parish court in the amount of up to $20,000.
Move to introduce, Chair. Second.
Moved and introduced by Councilman George Valentine, second by Councilman Todd Lambert. Any discussion? Any objection? Ordinance is introduced. We'll move into our public hearing section. Reading of our ordinance, number 9, Ms. Manda, please. Ricky, you're going to be doing? Okay.
I'll be reading.
Whereas Ascension Parish is a local governmental subdivision as defined by Article 6, Section 44 of the Louisiana Constitution of 1974, and whereas the Parish of Ascension is the governing and responsible body over the zoning and regulations within this jurisdiction, and whereas Article 6 of the Home Rule Charter of Ascension Parish, adopted May 4th, 1993, identifies the process and manner in which to adopt ordinances regulating the lands of this parish, and whereas the Development Code, adopted January 9, 2003, was created to regulate development within the unincorporated jurisdiction of Ascension Parish, and whereas the Development Code regulations were incorporated into the Ascension Parish Unified Land Development Code on December 17, 2009 by the Parish Council, and whereas the official zoning map, adopted June 30, 2009, created a SPUD, PUD, T&D overlay zone and identified the boundary and properties located within said overlay zone, and whereas language needs to be created to identify intended criteria for development within a SPUD, PUD, T&D overlay zone on the official zoning map, be it ordained by the Ascension Parish Governing Authority that Appendix 2, Section 17-2038 is hereby created as part of the Unified Land Development Code for Ascension Parish, Louisiana, as reflected in the attached Exhibit A. In the event that any portion of this ordinance is ever held invalid or unconstitutional for any reason by any court of competent jurisdiction over it, such portion shall be deemed a separate, distinct, and independent provision and shall not affect the validity of the remaining portions of the ordinance.
Move to open the public hearing.
Motion to open public hearing by Councilman Benny Johnson. Second by Councilman Dennis Cullen. Anyone wish to speak on this item, please come forward. You'll be allowed 3 minutes.
Move to close.
Move to close by Councilman Johnson.
Second.
Second by Councilman Dennis Cullen. I'll need a motion to move the ordinance, please. Motion by Councilman Dennis Cullen.
Second.
Second by Councilman Benny Johnson. Any discussion? Any objection? Ordinance is adopted. 12, please.
Whereas Ascension Parish is a local governmental subdivision as defined by Article 6, Section 44 of the Louisiana Constitution of 1974, and whereas the Parish of Ascension is the governing and responsible body over the zoning and regulations within this jurisdiction, and whereas Article 6 of the Home Rule Charter of Ascension Parish, adopted May 4th, 1993, identifies the process and manner in which to adopt ordinances regulating the lands of this parish, and whereas the Plan Unit Development Regulations were adopted on December 1st, 2005, and whereas the PUD regulations were incorporated into the Ascension Parish Unified Land Development Code on December 17, 2009 by the Parish Council, and whereas clarification of these regulations is necessary to explain the intent of allowing regulation modifications within a plan unit development, be it ordained by the Ascension Parish Governing Authority that Appendix 6, Section 17-6070 and 17-6071 of the Unified Land Development Code regulations for Ascension Parish, Louisiana, are amended as reflected in the attached Exhibit A. In the event that any portion of this ordinance is ever held invalid or unconstitutional for any reason by any court of competent jurisdiction over it, such portion shall be deemed a separate, distinct, and independent provision and shall not affect the validity of the remaining portions of the ordinance.
Need a motion to open. Councilman Randy Clark makes the motion.
Second.
Second by Councilman Chris Lohr. Anyone wish to speak on this item, please come forward. You'll be allowed 3 minutes. Need a motion to close public hearing. Motion by Randy Clark.
Second.
Second by Councilman Chris Lohr. I'll need a motion to approve the ordinance, please.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Moved by Councilman Todd Lambert.
Second.
Second by Councilman Chris Lohr. Any discussion? Any objection? Ordinance is adopted.
Thank you.
15.
Whereas currently existing sales taxes are paid for events held at publicly owned facilities, including the Lamar Dixon Expo Center, which includes sales taxes on the sales of concessions, admission tickets, parking, etc. Whereas Louisiana Revised Statute 39-468 permits political subdivision to declare that certain publicly owned property shall be exempt from sales tax collections in certain situations. Whereas as said facilities are publicly owned and operated, sales tax exemption status for said facilities would be beneficial in providing balanced and equitable competition with other public facilities throughout the state which have also been granted sales tax exemption status. And whereas said sales tax exemption status shall not apply or extend to any sale of goods or other tangible personal property at a trade show, gun show, or any other event at which the sale of such goods or property is the primary purpose of the show or event. Now therefore be it ordained that the Ascension Parish Council, acting as the Ascension Parish Sales Tax District, does hereby grant an exemption from the payment of existing 1% Ascension Parish sales taxes for events held at publicly owned facilities in accordance with the provisions of Louisiana Revised Statute 39-468, and further does grant said exemption to any additional sales taxes which may be imposed by or in the tax district in the future. Be it further ordained, said sales tax exemption status shall not apply or extend to any sale of goods or other tangible personal property at a trade show, gun show, or any other event at which the sale of such goods or property is the primary purpose of the show or event. Be it further ordained that the Ascension Parish Council does hereby request that the Ascension Parish Law Enforcement District, the Sheriff, the Ascension Parish School Board, the East Ascension Consolidated Gravity Drainage District Number 1 of the Parish of Ascension, also consider granting and grant concurrent exemptions from the payment of all sales taxes imposed by them on sales at all publicly owned buildings within their jurisdictions. Be it further ordained that said sales tax exemption status is hereby granted, and this ordinance is contingent upon obtaining concurrent sales tax exemption status from the aforesaid 3 local governing bodies and political subdivisions. Be it further ordained that the President or Council Chairman of the Parish of Ascension is hereby authorized to and empowered for and on behalf of the Council to execute all documents necessary to complete the said resolution. Be it finally ordained that this ordinance become effective immediately upon adoption of the Ascension Parish Council and approval of the Parish President.
Got a motion to open public hearing by George Valentine, Councilman Valentine, second by Councilman Randy Cluard. Anyone wish to speak on this item, come forward. You'll be allowed 3 minutes.
Move to close, Chairman.
A motion to close by Councilman Valentine, second by Councilman Todd Lambert. I'll need a motion to approve the ordinance, please.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Moved by Councilman Todd Lambert, second by Councilman Dempsey Lambert. Any discussion? Any objection? Ordinance is adopted. 18, please.
Whereas currently existing sales taxes are paid for events held at publicly owned facilities, including the Lamar Dixon Expo Center, which includes sales taxes on the sales of concessions, admission tickets, parking, etc. Whereas Louisiana Revised Statute 39-468 permits political subdivisions to declare that certain publicly owned properties shall be exempt from sales tax collections in certain situations. Whereas as said facilities are publicly owned and operated, sales tax exemption status for said facilities would be beneficial in providing balanced and equitable competition with other public facilities throughout the state which have also been granted sales tax exemption status. And whereas said sales tax exemption status shall not apply or extend to any sale of goods or other tangible personal property at a trade show, gun show, or any other event in which the sale of such goods or property is the primary purpose of the show or event. Now therefore be it ordained that the Ascension Parish Council, acting as the Ascension Parish Sales Tax District Number 2, does hereby grant an exemption from the payment of the existing half percent Ascension Parish sales taxes for events held at all publicly owned facilities in accordance with the provisions of Louisiana Revised Statute 39-468, and further does grant said exemption to any additional sales taxes which may be imposed by or in the tax district in the future. Be it further ordained, said sales tax exemption status shall not apply or extend to any sale of goods or other tangible personal property at a trade show, gun show, or any other event at which the sale of such goods or property is the primary purpose of the show or event. Be it further ordained that the Ascension Parish Council does hereby request that the Ascension Parish Law Enforcement District, the Ascension Parish School Board, and the East Ascension Consolidated Gravity Drainage District Number 1 of the Parish of Ascension also consider granting and grant concurrent exemptions from the payment of all sales taxes imposed by them on sales at all publicly owned buildings within their jurisdictions. Be it further ordained that said sales tax exemption status is hereby granted, and this ordinance is contingent upon obtaining concurrent sales tax exemption status from the aforesaid 3 local governing bodies' political subdivisions. Be it further ordained that the President or Council Chairman of the Parish of Ascension is hereby authorized to and empowered for and on behalf of the Council to execute all documents necessary to complete the said resolution. Be it finally ordained that this ordinance become effective immediately upon adoption of the Ascension Parish Council and approval of the Parish President.
Need a motion to open? Motion to open public hearing by Councilman Todd Lambert, second by Councilman Dempsey Lambert. Anyone wish to speak on this matter, come forward. You'll be allowed 3 minutes.
Motion to close.
A motion to close public hearing by Councilman Benny Johnson, second by Councilman Randy Cluart. I'll need a motion to approve the ordinance.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Randy Cluart, second by Councilman Benny Johnson. Any discussion? Any objection? Ordinance is adopted. Ladies and gentlemen, before we get to Councilman Todd Lambert, as always, I'd like to thank Mr. Wagensback, Eric Wagensback, our deputy in the back, Mr. Lester Kenyon, Suzanne, Scott Rabelais, and Lindsay for making all this happen tonight. We appreciate it. I'd also like to wish a happy birthday to some of our parish team, Miss Sherry Kinchin and Miss Suzanne Patterson. Councilman Lambert?
Motion adjourned, Mr.
Motion
Chairman.
adjourned by Councilman Todd Lambert, second by Councilman Ken Shakespeare.